Hello, myself Shubhashish Shah, Assistant Professor of Mathematics of Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management, GIS Group. In this video, I will discuss about consistency and inconsistency of a system of linear, homogeneous and homogeneous simultaneous equations. So, the name of the topic is consistency and inconsistency of a system of linear, homogeneous and non-homogeneous system, inhomogeneous system of equations. Okay, so if we have a system of equations, a system of equations means a system of linear equations, maybe 2 equations, 3 equations, then we have to find the solution. Suppose we have a system of equation with 3 equations and 3 variables, then suppose x, y, z, we have to find the values of x, y, z. So it is not necessary that the system will have a solution. It may happen that the system has no solution. It may happen that the system has a solution and has a finite number of solution, and it may also happen that the system has a solution but infinite number of solution. So I will discuss about it. And the rank of matrix, the application to find this, we have to apply the rank of the matrix, which I have discussed in my previous video. So a system of equation is said to be consistent. A system of equation is said to be consistent if it has solution. Otherwise it is said to be inconsistent. Now, when a system have a solution and when it will not have a solution, so existence and number of solution of the inhomogeneous, I will first discuss inhomogeneous system. About inhomogeneous system Ax equal to B, where A is an m by n matrix. Okay, so you have a system of equation Ax equal to B, where A is an m by n matrix, that is m equations and n variables, and we have to find the we will now discuss about when the solution exists and how many number of solution exist. So case 1, if m equal to n, the system is consistent. The system is consistent if and only if rank of A equal to rank of A bar. A bar is the augmented matrix, that is the coefficient matrix along with the right hand side constants. Rank of A equal to rank of A bar, and for a consistent system, two subcases arise. Okay, So sub case 1, rank of A is equal to rank of A bar is equal to n. The system possesses unique solution. Then the system possesses unique solution obtained by you can obtain it by matrix inversion method or any method. Okay. Subcase 2, rank of A equal to rank of A bar less than n. Then the system possesses infinite number of solution. Okay. Now we'll go to case 2. Case 1 was if m equal to n. So if rank of A equal to rank of A bar is equal to n, the system will have unique solution. If rank of A equal to rank of A bar less than n, the system possesses infinite number of solution. Okay. So case 2, is m less than n. Then the system is consistent if and only if rank of A equal to rank of A bar less than equal to n, and if consistent rank of A equal to rank of A bar less than n, then infinitely many solution exist. Okay. Now case 3, m is greater than n. So if m is greater than n, the system is consistent if and only if rank of A equal to rank of A bar less than equal to n. Now there are two subcases under this case. Subcase 1, if rank of A equal to rank of A bar equal to n, then it means there is unique solution, there is only one solution. And subcase 2, rank of A equal to rank of A bar less than n. This means there are infinitely many solution. Okay. Now I'll give you an example. I'll give you some example of these cases. Okay. So let us remove this. Example. The question is, for what values of k, the equations x plus y plus z equal to 1, 2x plus y plus 4z equal to k, 2x plus y plus 4z equal to k, 4x plus y plus 10z, 4x plus y plus 10z equal to k square. Have solutions. Have solutions. And you have to solve them completely in each case. Okay, solve them. So first we have to find for which values of k the system will be consistent. Then we can say that it is the number of solution be unique, or there are infinitely many solutions. So now we know that a system has a solution, that is a system is consistent if and only if rank of A is equal to rank of A bar. So here A is the coefficient matrix is 1 1 1 2 1 4 4 1 10. This is A, and A bar is, that is the augmented matrix, is 1 1 1 2 1 4 4 1 10 1 k square. This is the augmented matrix. Now we will find rank of A and rank of A bar. So we will not have to find rank of A and rank of A bar separately. If we find rank of A bar, automatically you will get the rank of A. Okay. So rank of A bar. So for finding rank of A bar, I have already discussed in my previous video how to find rank of a matrix, reducing a matrix to row reduced form or row reduced echelon form. Okay, so we will reduce this matrix to row reduced form. So first we will make we can see that the leading element of row 1 is already 1, so we have to make these two elements 0. So for that we are operating like R2 minus 2 are 1 and R3 minus 4 are 1. That will be 1 1 1 1, 2 minus 2 0, 1 minus 2 minus 1, 4 minus 2 2, and k minus 2. This will be 0 minus 3, 1 minus 4, that is 10 minus 4, that will be 6, and k square minus 4. Okay. Now we will have to make the leading element of second row, which is minus 1. We have to make it plus 1. So I am multiplying row 2 by minus 1. Okay. So minus 1 into row 2. 1 1 1 1, 0 1 minus 2, 2 minus k, 0 minus 3, 6, k square minus 4. Okay. Now we'll make these elements 0. We'll operate like R3 plus 3R2. Then it will all be 0. So 1 1 1 1, 0 1 minus 2, 2 minus k, 0 0 0, and this will be k square minus 4 plus 6 minus 3k, that is k square minus 3k plus 2, k square minus 3k plus 2. Okay. So we can see that this matrix has been reduced to row reduced, A has been reduced to row reduced echelon form. So from here, this is our element. Okay, k square minus 3k plus 2. Now we can see that rank of A is equal to 2, because there are 2 non-zero rows and 1 zero row. So rank of A will be 2. Now if we want to find rank of A bar, it will depend on the values of k. So if k square minus 3k plus 2 equal to 0, that is k minus 2 into k minus 1 equal to 0, that is k equal to 1 and 2. So if the values of k are 1 and 2, then this element will be 0, and in the matrix A bar, fourth row will be the 0 row. Okay, so for k equal to 1 and 2, rank of A bar will be 2 also, because there will be 2 non-zero rows. Okay, now if so, we have got one case, that is if k equal to 1 and 2, then rank of A is equal to rank of A bar, both are equal to 2, which is less than 3, So we know that if rank of A equal to rank of A bar is less than n, then there exists solution that is consistent but infinitely many solution, consistent and infinitely many solution. Okay, now if k is not equal to 1 and 2, then rank of A will be not equal to rank of A bar, because rank of A is 2, rank of A bar will be 3. Okay, so there will be no solution, that is inconsistent. Okay, inconsistent. So now we can see that for k equal to 1 and 2, the system is consistent and there are infinitely many solutions, and you can find the solution using matrix inversion method or any substitution method. And if k not equal to 1 and 2, then the system will be inconsistent. So putting 1 and 2 in place of k, you can find the solution. So this is the solution of the given problem. Okay, now I will give you another example. A system is given x plus 4y plus 2z equal to 1, 2x plus 7y plus 5z, 2x plus 7y plus 5z equal to 2 lambda, 4x plus ay plus 10z equal to 2 lambda plus 1. So we have to find the values of lambda and a. For which, number 1, there will be unique solution, and number 2, there will be no solution, and number 3, there will be infinitely many solution, infinitely many solution. Okay, so like before, like the previous sum, we'll write the augmented matrix A bar is equal to 1 4 2 1 2 7 5 2 lambda 4 A 10 2 lambda plus 1. Okay, now if we want to find the rank, so we first operate like R2 minus 2R1 and R3 minus 4R1. This will be 1 4 2 1, 2 minus 2 0, 7 minus 8 minus 1, 5 minus 4 1, 2 lambda minus 2, and 4 minus 4 0, A minus 16, 10 minus 8, that is 2, and 2 lambda plus 1 minus 4, that will be minus 3, 2 lambda minus 3. Next, we will operate like R3 plus A minus 16 into R2, so that this will be 0. So 1 4 2 1 1 4 2 1. Okay, 0 minus 1 1, 2 lambda minus 2, 0 0, 2 plus a minus 16, 2 plus a minus 16, that is a minus 14, and 2 lambda minus 3 plus a minus 16 into 2 lambda minus 2. Okay, so which is the echelon form of augmented matrix. Now for having the unique solution for having unique solution, we want rank of A equal to rank of A bar equal to n. Here n equal to 3. So if A is not equal to 14, if A is 14, then it will be 0. Then the required condition for having unique solution will not come. So for a unique solution, we want rank of A equal to 3, and for that A must not be equal to 14. So if A is not equal to 14, then rank of A and rank of A bar, rank A and A bar both will have 3 non-zero rows. 3 non-zero rows. Then rank of A and rank of A bar will be 3, which is equal to n. Then it will have unique solution. Okay. Now for having no solution, this is number 1. Number 2, for having no solution, rank of A should not be equal to rank of A bar. Okay, rank of A should not be equal to rank of A bar. Now if A minus 14 is not equal to 0, it makes the whole row non-zero row. So rank of A and rank of A bar both are equal to 3, which we have showed in 1. So to get rank of A and rank of A unequal, we must have A minus 14 equal to 0, that is A equal to 14. Then we will have this row as 0 row. So rank of A will be 2, there will be 2 non-zero rows for A, and if A equal to 14, then we have to find the value of this. So if A equal to 14, then 2 lambda minus 3 plus 14 minus 16 will be minus 2 into 2 lambda minus 2, and this should not be equal to 0. Okay, because if this is 0, then the row 4 will be 0 and rank of A will be equal to rank of A bar, which will give us infinitely many solutions. But we need no solution. Need to find the value of lambda and A for which there will be no solution. So it will not be equal to 0. That is 2 lambda minus 3 plus minus 4 lambda plus 4 not equal to 0. That is 2 lambda minus 4 lambda minus 2 lambda minus 3 plus 4, that is plus 1 equal to 0. So it gives lambda equal to half. So lambda not equal to half. So if then A equal to 14 and lambda not equal to half, then we get rank of A is equal to 2 and rank of A bar equal to 3, which are unequal, then it gives us no solution. Okay. Now we want to find the values of lambda and A for which there will be infinitely many solution. For infinitely many solution, from here we can say if if lambda equal to half, okay, so I am writing here, if A equal to 14 and lambda equal to half, then rank of A and rank of A bar both will be equal to 2, and which is less than 3, that is n. So there will be infinitely many solution. Okay, so this is our solved problem. Now I'll go to discuss eigenvalues and eigenvectors of a matrix. Okay, so eigenvalues and eigenvectors. Eigenvalues and eigenvectors. So first, for discussion of eigenvalues and eigenvectors, first we have to know what is characteristic polynomial. What is characteristic polynomial? Okay. So let A be an n by n matrix, then determinant of A minus xin or lambda in, A minus lambda in is the identity matrix of order n, is said to be the characteristic polynomial, is said to be the characteristic polynomial. Okay, now we will go to characteristic equation. So what is characteristic equation? Same definition, just since it is equation, so lambda determinant A minus lambda in will be equal to 0. So if determinant A minus lambda in equal to 0, this equation is called characteristic equation. Okay, now I am giving you a small example. Suppose A equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now what will be its characteristic equation or characteristic polynomial? So first, determinant of A minus lambda in, that is determinant of 1 minus lambda, 2, 3, 4 minus lambda. In means identity matrix 1, 0, 0, 1. So there will be 0 will be subtracted from 2 and 3. So the determinant of this will be 1 minus lambda into 4 minus lambda minus 6. This is characteristic polynomial, lambda square minus 5 lambda plus 4 minus 6, that is lambda square minus 5 lambda minus 2. Okay, so this is the characteristic polynomial. Then characteristic equation will be lambda square minus 5 lambda minus 2 equal to 0. Okay, now I'll give you a very important, I'll state a very important theorem which is called Cayley-Hamilton theorem. Cayley-Hamilton theorem. So it states that every square matrix satisfies its own characteristic equation. Every square matrix satisfies its own characteristic equation. It is stated in the Cayley-Hamilton theorem. So from the previous example I am taking here, the characteristic equation of the matrix was lambda square minus this was the characteristic equation, lambda square minus lambda minus 2 equal to 0. So this was the characteristic equation of A, this matrix. So according to the theorem, so it will be A square minus 5A minus 2 equal to 0. It should be whole. Okay, we will verify this now. So A square, A was 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then A square will be 1, 2, 3, 4 into 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 1 plus 6, 7, 2 plus 8, 10, 3 plus 12, 15, and 6 plus 16, 22. This is a square. So if we put the values, a square minus 5a minus 2 means here 2 will be multiplied by the identity matrix of order 2. So a square is 7, 10, 15, 22 minus 5 into a 1, 2, 3, 4 minus 2 into identity matrix 1, 0, 0, 1. So 7, 10, 15, 22 minus 5, 10, 15, 20 minus 2, 0, 0, 2. So this will be 7 minus 5 minus 2, 7 is 0, 10 minus 10 minus 0 is 0, 15 minus 15 is 0, 22 minus 20 minus 2 is 0. So this is the 0 matrix. So this square matrix has satisfied its own characteristic equation. So Cayley-Hamilton theorem has been verified for the matrix. Okay. Now we will go to the definition of eigenvalue. So the definition of eigenvalue is the roots of the characteristic equation. The roots of the characteristic equation of a matrix is called eigenvalues. Okay, so the roots of the characteristic equations are called eigenvalues. So we did a problem, we solved a problem just now for a equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, and the characteristic equation was lambda square minus 5 lambda minus 2 equal to 0. So from here lambda equal to by Siddharacharya's formula minus b plus minus root over b square minus 4ac, that is 8 by 2. So 5 plus minus root over 33 by 2. So here there are two roots of the characteristic equation, and these two roots are the eigenvalues of the eigenvalues of this matrix. Okay. Now we'll go to eigenvectors. So what are eigenvectors? A non-null vector capital X is said to be an eigenvector of the matrix A if there exists a scalar lambda such that Ax equal to lambda x. Okay, so Ax equal to lambda x means we can write it in another way, Ax equal to lambda x. So we are transferring this from right to left, so it will be A minus lambda I equal to x. So a capital X will be the eigenvector of A if there exists a scalar lambda such that A minus lambda into x equal to 0, or you can say that Ax equal to lambda x. Okay, so x is the eigenvector. Now there are some properties of eigenvectors. Before discussion of those properties, we'll find the eigenvector of some matrix. Okay, so let us take a matrix 2 1 1 1 2 1 1 2 1 0 0 1. So to find the eigenvectors of this matrix, we have to first find the eigenvalues. Corresponding to each of the eigenvalues, there will be an eigenvector. So for finding eigenvalue, we have to write the characteristic equation, and that will be 2 minus lambda 1 1 1 2 minus lambda 1 0 0 1 minus lambda is equal to 0. So solving this determinant, we'll find lambda equal to, okay, this will be 1 minus lambda into 2 minus lambda into 2 minus lambda, because these are two zeros. So lambda equal to 1 1 1 3. No, from solving this determinant, we will get lambda equal to 1 1 3. Okay. Now from these eigenvalues, we will find eigenvectors. So when lambda equal to 3, so eigenvector, that is a minus 3i, a minus lambda I, where here lambda I, we have taken lambda equal to 3, to x equal to 0, that is 2 minus 3, that will be minus 1 1 1 1 2 minus 3, that will be minus 1 1 0 0 1 minus 3 will be minus 2. Okay, so into x1 x2 x3, this is the eigenvector which is unknown, 0 0 0. Okay, now we are adding R3 dash equal to R3 plus R1 plus R2. R3 plus R1 plus R2, that will be minus 1 1 1 1 minus 1 1 0 0 0. So x1 x2 x3 equal to 0 0 0. Now if we add R1 plus R2, then it will be 0 0 0 0 0 2 minus 1 1 1 x1 x2 x3 will be equal to 0 0 0. Okay, so from here we can see that minus x1 plus x2 plus x3 equal to 0 and 2x3 equal to 0. So from this equation we get x3 equal to 0, then minus x1 plus x2 equal to 0, that is x1 equal to x2. So let x1 equal to x2 equal to k1, say k1 is any arbitrary constant, then the eigenvector will be k1 k1 0. So this is the eigenvector corresponding to the eigenvalue 3. It can be written as also k1 into 1 1 0. Okay, now we will take lambda equal to 1. We will take lambda equal to 1. So if lambda equal to 1, then it will be 1 1 1 1 1 1 0 0 0. So x1 x2 x3 equal to 0 0 0, and from this equation we get x1 plus x2 plus x3 equal to 0, and then x1 equal to minus of x2 minus of x3. So let x2 equal to k2 and x3 equal to k3, say. Then x1 equal to minus k2 minus k3, then the eigenvector will be minus k2 minus k3 k2 k3. So this is the eigenvector corresponding to the eigenvalue lambda equal to 1. So this is the procedure how to find eigenvectors of a given matrix. First you find the eigenvalues, then corresponding to each of the eigenvalues you will get the eigenvectors. Now I will tell you some properties of eigenvectors. Number 1, if lambda is an eigenvalue of A, then lambda square is an eigenvalue value of a square. Okay, so you know if lambda is an eigenvalue of a, then ax equal to lambda x. Now we are multiplying by a both side. Ax equal to a into lambda x. That will be a square x equal to lambda a x. Okay, so we know that ax equal to lambda x from here, so we can put ax equal to lambda x, that will be lambda square x. So from this we can say that lambda square is an eigenvalue of a square. Okay, now the next property is, so from here we can say also that if lambda is an eigenvalue of a, then lambda to the power n will be an eigenvalue of a to the power n. Proof is same. Okay, property number 2, if lambda be an eigenvalue of a, then 1 by lambda is an eigenvalue of a inverse. Okay, so if ax equal to lambda x, since lambda is an eigenvalue of ax, we are multiplying by a inverse both sides. A inverse ax equal to a inverse lambda x. So from here we can say that it is x equal to lambda into a inverse x. Now a inverse x equal to 1 by lambda x. So from this we can say that 1 by lambda is an eigenvalue of a inverse. Okay, so it is the proof of the above theorem. And last, if lambda is an eigenvalue of an orthogonal matrix, then 1 by lambda is also an eigenvalue. This is your homework. Watch this video. If you face any problem or if you have any question regarding this video, you can ask me, you can contact with me. My contact details has been given in the first slide of this video. Thank you.